FG disqualifies Nigerians without NIN, BVN, CBN begins payment. The federal government is reviving and expanding the National Social Register to accommodate pensioners and ex-servicemen under its Conditional Cash Transfer Scheme. The beneficiaries who had exited the poverty line were being removed from the register. We gathered that the government was also taking out dead beneficiaries from the register and would disqualify those without national identification numbers and bank verification number BVN. It was further gathered that payments will be made directly to the beneficiaries by the Central Bank of Nigeria and not through consultants, as the first batch of bulk payments will begin next week for 5 million households. The Conditional Cash Transfer Scheme is part of the National Social Investment Program of the federal government, which is a project created to change the lives of millions of Nigerians living in extreme poverty, upgrade their standard of living, and improve the economy. In commemoration of the 2023 International Day for the Eradication of Poverty on Tuesday in Abuja, President Bola Tinubu launched the disbursement of 25,000 naira to 15 million households for 3 months as a social safety net intervention. The aim is to mitigate the impact of the recent fuel subsidy removal and help eradicate poverty across the country. Providing further details on the initiative in response to inquiries, the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Rashid Olariwaju, stated that the cash transfer scheme had been reviewed and expanded. Asked if the federal government will use the old register used by the former President Muhammadu Buhari administration to transfer the money, he stated, "We are using a verified, expanded register that has asked pensioners and veterans as well as other vulnerable persons who were not captured," confirming the position of the minister's media aide. The National Communications Manager, National Social Investment Program Agency, Jamaldeen Kabir, stated that beneficiaries who had exited the poverty line were being removed from the register. Kabir said, "What Olariwaju told you is very correct because the register is being expanded. First of all, it has to be verified so that those who are out of the poverty line will be removed from the old register. Those in the register, are they still within the poverty line or have they exited the line?" The expansion will also include the wives of fallen heroes and pensioners. On when the cash transfer will begin, Olariwaju stated that though bulk payments would commence from next week, some of those who had been verified already started receiving payments alert. The cash transfer scheme has been launched, and once a household is verified, they get paid. The batches begin this month, next week to be precise. However, verified people have started receiving alerts, he stated. Also commenting on when the cash transfer will begin, Kabir said, "Actually, when the program was launched at the presidential failure 3 days ago, some beneficiaries were presented with some checks. So, before this month ends, the beneficiaries in the first phase will receive theirs. And this phase caters to 5 million households. So, we are expecting those 5 million households to receive money in months of October, November, and December," Olariwaju added. On how many ghost recipients have been discovered, the minister's aide stated that a lot of measures have been put in place to make the scheme credible, such as the introduction of the NIN and BVN. They may not be ghosts, but we have put in place many controls to make the process credible and clean. First, we look for the NIN and BVN to match with in-person verification and biometrics. The process is from the CBN to the beneficiaries. There are no middlemen, Olariwaju stated. Asked to state the number of debt recipients, he replied, "We have struck off many names following the verification. The final figure will be out in weeks. It may run into millions. Some are dead, some are no longer in that category of the poor, and some could not be identified at locations given. So wait till we get the compilation ready," he added. Asked to state those involved in identity theft, he said, all this will be determined when the final report is out. For now, we will pay those fully verified, and the names will be pasted in communities. 15 million households amount to about 62 million individuals, with an average of 5 persons per household. The humanitarian ministry stated that the determination of the federal government to eradicate poverty was in line with the president's renewed hope agenda, which has poverty eradication, food security, economic growth, and job creation as priorities. At the launch of the cash transfer scheme on Tuesday, Tinubu, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, enumerated various steps his administration are taking to ameliorate poverty in the country. This, according to the President, include providing the policy framework and roadmap for poverty alleviation, developing humanitarian response, and expanding the National Social Register to capture Nigerians living below $1.95 per day. Other steps include restructuring of the National Social Investment Program and repositioning it for quick and efficient delivery that is transparent, as well as partnering with the World Bank Group and other development partners to implement conditional cash transfers and business grants, among others. The ministry stated that the government was also investing 100 billion naira in the purchase of 3,000 units of 20-seater compressed natural gas powered buses for cheaper transportation. It further stated that there was an investment of 200 billion naira to cultivate 500,000 hectares of farmland to improve food security. The ministry added the release of 2,000 metric tons of grains from the strategic grains reserve to households across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, the distribution of 225 metric tons of fertilizers and seedling to farmers who are committed to the nation's food security, the release of 75 billion naira to support 100,000 naira small and medium enterprises and startups, renewed Hope Shelter program for the poor, refugees, and international displaced persons targeted at 1 million households, business grant and loans for vulnerable market women, farmers, and traders to expand their business, targeted at 2 million beneficiaries, among other interventions from various ministries through a multi-sectoral approach. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Beta Edu, recently stated that all stakeholders, including the private sector players, development partners, and other nations, should support Nigeria in its drive to eliminate poverty. She stated, the cardinal goal of President Bola Tinubu's administration is to give the poor and vulnerable Nigerians a new breath of hope, which is also in line with the SDG target. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not relent until vulnerable Nigerians are completely pulled out of poverty by 2030. Edu said the conditional cash transfer was a proven way to alleviate poverty, as it would give households the financial support to start micro and small enterprises, provide basic health care and food, keep their children in school, and attend to immediate new needs of the household. I remain yours sincerely, Akandaoro Awikunga. Have a blessed day.